Hey boss, have the prequel to the Thor drop. Oh, I already know all the fuck-ups. But rage away. It's like, that's not the point. Oh, I already know everything. Go ahead, rage away. You're just here. Dance, monkey, dance. Okay. Door dropping Terran. Just look at how bad I am, LOL. By the way, I want to just point out the opponent's name is Say No to Stim. So, pretty great. I'm going to attempt, so I know what I do. Sometimes I get a little bogged down and search for the same words too much. Like I know what I want to say, but I'm trying to do it creatively. We're not going to bother with that. Creativity going right out the window. Unlike this build, where we're going to creatively get supply blocked early on, and then, once again, I've seen so many Diamond Terrans with the TVT openers. The TVT openers that would just die if you got attacked, but I guess since everybody's too much of a bitch to attack, then they're safe in Diamond. So, well, there was a Reaper. No, that... Okay, I guess we're leaving. What does prequel to a Thor drop mean? Isn't that just a Thor drop? It's like, well, I have a Thor, but I don't drop it. I don't drop the base like you, Winter. It's like, well, obviously you're not also a Mixcloud Select Premium DJ. Make sure to check me out on Mixcloud Select, where you can subscribe for some amount of money. And definitely not get the free download links on each of the mixes. Definitely not. I mean, I guess technically if you do, I get paid. Wait, I think I get paid. I don't know. I never figured that out yet. Now, we're building an armory and a fusion core, so neither of these players likes living through the early game.
Ready for dust off.
Which is what we've... The classic, like, now we're going to drop 3 Reapers and a Hellion, so that way we have a good chance of losing the medevac before the Thor drop. And then get +1 attack for our 1 mech unit. Was that a valuable use? Well, let's see how it goes. This build is not... By the way, don't try this at home. This is not... This build would straight up die to the vast majority of competent early game. Like if you did anything resembling a professional... I'm not expecting a professional TVT build, but like 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions. Early Cyclone push, Raven, whatever. They all die horribly. But since both of these players share a heaping helping of incompetence, now we're here. Surprise! There are Reapers in your base via medevac. Or there were, for a moment, and now we're... Thankfully, the opponent... Now, I doubt Mr. Undead was watching. But if you look closely, you'll see he's not building any units. Not because of the production tab, but because none of the buildings are lighting up or have the building animation. Which means, potentially here, we could just win the game. Except for that one read. Okay, now we're Thor Drop. Thor Drop, well known as a standard follow-up to the 3 Reaper, 1 Hellion sacrifice. He kind of obviously had an expansion. Alright, so...
Center upgrade complete.
Now, I mean, can I just appreciate right now how both these players are just high rank Bronze League heroes? Because we all know in Bronze League heroes, all roads lead to Thors and battlecruisers. But when we go up the ranks, what we do is we just skip to those. We just skip to Thors and battlecruisers. That's it. Like, we just cut out as much as possible. Bam, Thors and battlecruisers. Not random ass turrets everywhere. Not like pretending to attack. None of that. Just straight there. Thors and battlecruisers. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So, we go in the high impact. Are you just gonna... The medevac says, well... So the Thor just dies. That's it. Like, the medevac gets out. The medevac, obviously the more valuable unit. Just Thor just kind of dies, and suddenly there's a battlecruiser. Interference matrix is used, but what's the... A cyclone is a good counter. Now this is happening. This is... I don't... So cyclones are actually a pretty direct counter to battlecruisers, fun fact, because their spell damage goes straight through armor. The lock-on is spell damage. The normal attack is not, unless the cyclone just fucking dies, in which case, not a great counter. Okay, so the battlecruiser leaves because it's scared of commitment. Thor is here. So now we are just in an advanced bronze Imperial state. That's where we are right now. Oh, where's my water?
Ain't no minerals left in that cluster.
Raven online.
SCV ready.
Ugh. I'm sorry. I was thirsty for competent StarCraft play, but I'll have to survive with just simple hydration.
Ready to raise some hell. Mineral clusters all gone. SCV ready.
So now we're kind of going mech. Wait, what's happening? Well, he's going battlecruiser. So Cyclones and Thors are actually good battlecruiser counters. This is true.
Ready to blunder. SCV ready. Thor is here. Command center upgrade complete.
From here, we just kind of figure out who can bungle this more. Like, will our ground mech player decide to saunter across the map into an obviously well-entrenched position and lose everything? Or will the battlecruiser player just, well, lose all their battlecruisers? Find out more in somewhere between 5 and 50 minutes from now. The TPM begins to raise, a very important part of any matchup.
Ready to blunder. SCV ready. Thor is here.
Yes, we get it, Thor. We figured it out. High-sec auto-tracking, a key upgrade.
Mineral clusters up. Upgrades all set. Thor is here. Ready to blunder. That's all the minerals you're getting out of that.
It's at this point where both players realize they don't know how this game plays out, but they're kind of committed to their strategies. So...
Mineral clusters all gone.
Yamato Cannon has a whole lot of range. Oh, the Thors are just going for it. The tanks are doing a pretty... Okay. Yeah, there's a whole lot of anti-air. Tanks doing a good job, but Vikings actually counter well. Okay. I kind of gave up on giving productive criticism. As soon as we started doing, like, as soon as the first Thor died in the base, I just kind of gave up on being like, well, this is how you can improve. Because
Command center up.
each person, like, you can learn to have more empathy. You can learn to be a better person, I think. but you can only learn so much, is the summary. And I'll just leave it at that.
Ain't no minerals left in that cluster. That mineral command center upgrade complete. A pretty little add-on.
Yep, he's right there. That looks like the red Terran player decided Thors were a good idea.
Ain't no minerals left in that.
Venn diascan. That is a planetary. Did you know Thors outrange planetaries that don't have range? Fun fact!
Yeah. Ready for dust-off. That's all the minerals you're getting out of that cluster. SCVs.
Did I say max range or range upgrade? I think I said max range. That might have been wrong. But if you don't have high-sec auto-tracking, Thors have more range than him. Why are there Marines? What? What?
Guys is
Without range. Okay. So both were wrong.
easy there.
I say things, I don't know things. Moving on.
Upgrades.
If only there was a mech unit that only cost minerals that would have benefited from the upgrades you already had and could also come out of the factory. I don't know what it could be though. No. Heckbat, I think is the name.
Victory. It looks good on you, kid.
Well, I don't agree with Tychus. That victory was kind of slow and boring. And sad. Not necessarily in that order. I mean, for Diamond 2, right? Diamond 2. It's like a B, because you spent your money. Ish. And if you just build more shit than your opponent with better upgrades, you're likely to win. Mirror matchups are a little more in the gray zone. Hellbrat from Captain Undead. Hellbats are the raisin brain. Marines are the big thonk. We're gonna downgrade. That's gonna be a C+. That's a C+. That's my revised grade. I would just no reason. Just I reevaluated. Is this the meatloaf? Are you shenanigans? Or Proioxys? I don't... Proxys. What do you mean Proxys? That's not the name. It's some weird amalgamation of vowels and incompetence.
I don't even play S-Sync 2 and I find this highly entertaining.
Oh, which is why you got timed out in chat because you put a link and aren't subscribed.
Might as well be Bronze Lich Heroes, but tell me how I cannot FJ.
Oh wait, no, wait, that was a different person. Thank you, Wasdom. I find this highly entertaining. Well, I don't even play professional hockey, believe it or not. Or hockey at all, but I do find it entertaining. I was going to say football, but for the most part, I do not find football. And like, I watch a highlight reel. Either, by the way. Yes, freedom or non-freedom football. It doesn't matter. Don't get specific. Okay, okay. So you know when you know how many minerals a gateway costs? 150. Pylon 100. Probe 50. Nexus 400. A brain priceless. But in this case, gateway 150. I got the link. I got the link. You just got slightly time-outed because you're not a sub. Hint. That gateway is just like a solid, like 14 seconds late. And 14 seconds is like 28% of this game so far. So, and also build probes. Also, what is this rally point? It's already a disaster. Whenever people come in, this is the second one. You guys can look forward to multiple. I'm not saying you have to be subscribed to send in a replay. I'm saying to subscribe with Dirty Esports money, it costs $5. A replay costs $15. But at the same time, these are free. So, almost always, at the end of the day, the people who are not subscribed to the stream, and which is, once again, okay, but just a near-perfect indicator that you haven't looked at this free shit, and you're just like, well, this will be a lot of fun.
You are now
All
on
right.
my surface.
For who is the question. Thank you. Safety scissors. But, so, as I've said in the past, in Twitch chat, on the ladder, how do you know when someone is intoxicated? It's a very good question. The answer. They'll tell you. It's kind of like, how do you know someone's Australian? Either one, you have 250 ping, or two, they tell you. So this build is... Do we have to do this again? Every night. You're like, well, Winter, I didn't want to watch a guide because I want to spend 24 minutes floundering around in the Gold League rather than watching a 12-minute, 14, or even 40-minute guide on YouTube. So I was like, what am I going to do for these people? What am I going to do? Am I going to try to profit off them by having some microtransaction-based clicker app that appeals to their attention span? Or maybe make more Minecraft-related videos? No! 1-minute guide. No, you probably didn't. You probably haven't watched it because 1 minute is still too much of a commitment. But for those who might benefit. Here, this is a PVT build order, but it works in PVZ. 14 pylon, 16 probe, chrono boost, build a gate, scout with the probe, 17 assimilator, 2 more probes, 19 probe can go down the ramp. If he's already there, build a cyber core instead. Now 21 gas, 21 pylon, 22 if you won't forget, but you will forget, so stop fucking around. On the other side, does he have a gas? Yes, then you need maybe 2 build units. But if he has a Rex and just 1 gas, you're fine. Stop freaking out. Where's your second pylon? You need a pylon. You are platinum. Do you want to be diamond? Well, guess what? Fuck you. Build a second pylon. Where's your second pylon? You need a second pylon. Build a second pylon. What he said. So what we have here isn't even like, if you make it, if you hit most of the points that whatever that nerd detailed there said, then I don't have to stop the game at 1 minute and 40 seconds wondering why this is already a dumpster fire. But unfortunately, those bars and this low bar are not in sync. So we're here. You have 490 minerals. You got 2 gas. You have a random ass probe on the map. You have no nexus. What is this? Oh, are you proxying a Stargate? Is this gonna be a late? Okay. The probe came back. Oh wait, you are up against a Terran. That's perfect. Wait, why are you walling up? What the fuck is going on? Thankfully, since this is apparently Bronze League Heroes, your opponent is getting a pre 2-minute engineering bay, which is required to make it into Bronze League Heroes. Everybody knows. So that is the player you are playing against. For reference. Have I mentioned second pylons? So, I had this question asked of me. I think it was yesterday. And it was a point I forgot about, but yeah. So what I usually do is I speed through the replays. And then we go back to normal. This is normal game speed. Faster is normal game speed because we're tryhards. And does it feel slow? Does it feel like we're not playing on normal game speed? I've gotten used to it because I've watched so many of your replays. That's the summary here. Okay, that zealot has big shoes to fill, but not even your mother could fill that gap. That is a disaster of a wall, but thankfully you're up against Terran. So, I don't know if you realize Terran units, besides the best Terran unit, are ranged. So if you wall off against Terran, you're like, well, I don't want the Hellions to get in. I wouldn't be concerned about that, is the summary. So, since we're in the deep metal leagues, besides the second pylon, the kindergarten level of impression of a build order, the walling off for no reason, the easily distracted nature of well, yourself, the complete ignorance of whatever the fuck Chrono Boost is. Overall, this is like a middle school cover band. I can tell what song it is, okay? I almost wish I couldn't, but I can tell what song it is.
Your base is under siege.
So,
do not let this
good job on that.
go unpunished.
Okay, so let's make this very clear. If you ever look in the replay and your opponent has decided high-sec auto-tracking is critical for their build pre-5 minutes, and you end up losing the game, it is 129% your fault. It is not it's not that expensive, it's not that big of an investment. But if you are up against a player whose second building was an engineering bay, and their second upgrade was high-sec auto-tracking, and you lose the game, you've got a long fucking way to go, my friend. You are going to make so incredibly many mistakes. And so many mistakes. Now, I don't know if you lose. So there are a couple options now. You lose either way. It's a lose-lose. Either you win the game, and I'm like, why are you sending me this? Or you lose the game, and I also say, on top of that, why are you sending me this? So, we find out. Thank you, P2W, Mad Maniac. Well, let's see.
I return to serve.
Research.
We'll talk. Maybe at some point we can talk about army hotkeys. And this is how you know we're in the meta leagues. If this was a ladder game of mine in Masters / on a great day, not so high GM, I'd be wondering, so when are the Banshees coming in? Because there could be Banshees now, because a competent player could have Banshees by this point, probably on 2 bases. But I mean, we're getting charged. You got a robo. 3 gates. It isn't... I'm coming around. I think this was gold-ish. It's... The waters are very muddy. In the low meta leagues. But... there's a purpose. I'm willing to think he meant to go +1 attack instead of high sec. Twitch chat, have you been paying any attention? He already has +1 weapons. He queued up high sec auto tracking after it. Come on. Don't you know what Bronze League Heroes is all about? Pay attention. God.
Your research has completed.
Oh. I'm pretty, like, I either have to assume this person is so much older than me, I cannot understand what they're saying.
You are now in my service.
62
So
months,
I assume,
baby,
like,
20,
much of
20.
my demographic, they are like 37 and using old-timey terms that are mildly offensive to most people. Or nobody knows what they're talking about and they're just drunk. Thank you, the X Big XJ, for 62 months. I just don't enjoy.
All battles are won through numbers alone.
37 is not old. I'm offended. 37 is old enough. I have no idea what Smokies are. 37 is not old. I agree. Okay. I agree. But I think we can all agree. It's not young either.
An upgrade has been completed.
It's well experienced. And with that experience, you've learned things that us youngins... I hesitate to put myself there. That us youngins might not have had the... I was gonna say pleasure of experiencing. But using that word at all is a little uncomfortable in the first place. What age is considered young? If you have used the term yeet unironically in the last week, you might be young.
Mineral field exhausted. Perhaps
Otherwise, everybody sign up for your AARP cards.
consider a hidden base. Your research.
49 and below is young. 50 is middle-aged. 51 plus is old. No. If you weren't born when StarCraft 1 came out, you might be either 1, a BlizzCon/WCS champion, or 2, old. There's the cutoff. So, hey everybody.
A mineral field has been depleted.
Did you know Cyril was born about 2 weeks after StarCraft 1 came out? Is it a coincidence?
You've got
I don't know.
research complete.
Assault data bomb.
By the way, this is here on this map, by the way. In case you guys.
You've depleted a mineral cluster.
So, when are we going to discover Archons? We're so close.
Upgrade complete. Your forces grow more powerful.
Assault data
Control
bomb.
groups can wait for another day. Okay, good. More people are interested in discussing age. Well, because this is boring. This is like a silver player who actually knows what to do, but probably doesn't play nearly enough games to actually rank up. Am I wrong, Mr. Meatloaf? Like, 4 games a month isn't gonna cut it. And we still haven't figured out what the fuck Smokies are. Because there was rum involved, but apparently unrelated to Smokies. Like, I thought it was just an exclamation, but apparently it's something in and of itself. They're hot dogs, but holy Smokies, I need a fresh rum. Made Smokies, almost burnt the house down. Did this happen before? Like, that would explain the high sec auto tracking, but like, did this happen in this time? Did that happen then? Because, this is not me. I paid for my buddy to have his thing looked at by you. No, that's your mom's job. So. Kids these days. Yeet. If you know what I mean.
I return to serve.
No, I know. Smokes are cigarettes. He said smoky. He said smokies twice. In 2 very different contexts. He also said fry daddy, so I don't know 100%. I don't know where this leaves us. Oh wow. Oh my. Do we have storm? No. Oh no. Okay, so here's what. Watch closely. Less of this. More of this. This is a beautiful storm, but you shouldn't, like, this is what control groups are great for. Control groups are great for not walking your entire army not attacking and also casting storm. Oh my god. Oh my god. If our Protoss hero had not microed, this game would 100% be already over. Is everybody shooting at the command center? No. But unfortunately, he did micro, so this game may continue. If you think, okay, alright, so I want to stereotype people. Not that. That's my Twitter feed, which has people spamming songs on it. I don't know why. I don't do song requests. Where's Twitch chat? Dun, 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 dun. So what I wanna wow. If you are this type of person, who picks one random thing from one part of the game, and is like, well, this is the point I need to make. Then to people like myself, it stands out. Let's put it that way. Like, it's not so much. It's not a bad thing. It's not like you're gonna get banned. Of course not. I'm just gonna acknowledge that people like this exist, and they are in Twitch chat. That's all I want to say. They're all around us. Just make it clear.
A mineral field has been
What's happening? Eventually, the Immortal Archons. They're all around us. Nice move. Which move was that? The move where you built a bigger army and attacked me, winning the game. Slick move, Slick.
depleted a mineral cluster.
And right before stim finished. That 15-minute stim timing, so close. Holy smokies.
How did the Terran mineral? GG.
I don't know what that was. That was something, though. Goldish. For Goldish, it's like a B-. No. It's a B for gold. Like, if you get an expansion in a reasonable timing and eventually get to a Mortal Archon charge lot, all you need to do is stop microing. And here we come, Platinum. Any second now. So, the short road to plat. Holy smokies. Indeed. Next one is Athol. Athol? A-T-H-O-L. A diamond Protoss. Wife hates SC2 though, so she has strong feelings that can be qualified as hate against SC2, so grounds for divorce. I'll tell you a story. One of my first college girlfriends. That's gonna sound like a humble brag, but it very barely is. I remember I was very into SC2, believe it or not. And I showed her the GS. Those of you who know SC2 historically, will understand what I'm saying. Not MVP. It was Dong Regu versus MMA. The GSL finals. In, I want to say, 2011. But for those of you that remember it, like, one of the goes to 7 games, one of the sickest GSL finals of all time. MMA barely beats Infestor Broodlord for one of the sickest Starcraft matches in history, right? Like, so that essentially still is happening today. But so I essentially coerced her to watch the final like game or two, because I'm like, this is super hype. I'm super into this. She didn't like it and asked like why people would watch this. The relationship did not last many more weeks. So, which brought us to a total of about, I believe it was 6 to 8 weeks total on that. So, what a great time. Diamond Protoss. Who is Zerg Batman? If Zerg were to have a Batman, it couldn't be Cyril. Cyril's not Batman. I think Zerg Batman is like dark, right? Because the way he plays and like just his style, it's dark. So Zerg Batman is playing tonight in GSL Super Tournament. But I don't think this guy is dark. But like, Cyril would be Zerg. Cyril is like Zerg Thanos. He's like, I will take half the bracket of this tournament, and I will eliminate it. I will eliminate the other races, bringing perfect Zerg to Starcraft. I don't Way to go, Cyril.
You must construct additional pylons.
Yes. We need to hate him. We need to hate Dark, okay? We need to hate him. Because he's not the Zerg that we deserve. But he's the Zerg we need right now. The Zerg who will all in. The Zerg who will cheese. The Dark Knight. I don't know. So many ZVZ. I would love if I could just get ZVZ all day on the letter. My ZVZ is an 86% win rate this season.
Yes, yes, yes. Just as I deserve.
You tip your bartender, you tip your entertainment.
You tip your entertainment.
You tip... The past tense is concerning. Does not look fun to play. 86%! Who was the Joker in that scenario? Obviously foreign Terran players. You want to know how I got these scars? Cutting myself after every balance patch. Okay. Thank you, Saul Benzo79 for 3 months. Not as bad as TVT. How did you lose the probe? Metaphorically. If he's joking, like... So, was this a pull first? I wasn't paying attention. We gotta go back. I gotta actually look at the game a little bit and pretend like I care. It was a pull first play, so that's why you walled off, which was a good response. Though that's not... The first pylon was not in the right... Close enough. The idea was there. I'll give you that.
Glory to the Daemon.
Twilight.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Okay, you want to know how you can recognize a Meta League player in the wild? Because we're calling out everyone tonight. There you go. I'm shaming too many people today.
Glory.
Marched his agents. You gotta get the best. You gotta diversify your agents. Stop it. Stop it. It's time to stop. It's time to stop.
The firstborn shall persevere.
And this is why you're diamond. We figured it out. This is why you're diamond. Congratulations.
I have met the enemy.
$1,900. Wow, beautiful shade. Can I get 2,000 minerals, baby? 2,000. Can I get 2050? 2050 coming on down. 2,100. Hot damn. That is 5 Nexi minerals right now. But are you buying 5 Nexi? Hell no. Can I get like 3 more gates, a warp in, and then a supply block realization? And now here's the beautiful thing. Is it's not even like the adepts did much. You killed 3 drones for like 8 adepts. With glaives. Like, it wasn't even good adept micro. It was bad adept micro combined with nothing. So, I'm not entirely convinced this is a productive strategy. And by that I mean really fucking useless. You baited him into making a metric fuck ton of roaches. He's getting speed, and now you have nothing. If you hadn't done that, he wouldn't be making all these roaches, probably. And also, you have nothing. You literally have no units at home. Ah! Full chrono boost on your natural. No third. No upgrades besides resonating glaives. The only thing that's resonating is your incompetence. Oh yeah, so I get +1 for my no units. Oh, are you running out of gas? Do we need more gas? Do you need to get on the gas train? I don't know. This is Diamond? Yeah, this is real Diamond. He had something resembling a build, and then, like, I bet this game, I didn't actually check the timer. I have actually no idea how long this game is. I bet this game is at least 10 more minutes, though. Because this is the stage of the game where the vast majority of Diamond players don't realize happened because of what happens in 10 minutes from now. Let's see. Yeah, we got 12 more minutes. Like, we're not thinking about the part where we jerked off 4 adepts, sent them directly into roaches, doing nothing for a full minute. We're thinking about how it felt like, oh my god, the Zerg player has so much, how am I supposed to defend all these roaches? Desperately defending, finally attacked, but they still have so much. Broodlords killed me. So, and I'm not saying this is this player, I'm just saying in general. But this is the part of the game that makes the biggest difference between a Diamond and a Masters player. Is the Masters players, for the most part, will skip past this part of the game. Like, they'll be exactly the same place. Now, this sounds crazy, but depending on your race, you start with exactly the same units that work exactly the same way as Cyril, as Neeb, as Special. You have exactly the same stuff loading into the game. That's the beauty of StarCraft. So what happened? That's the question. When you can build half a dozen pylons and half a dozen gates and still have nearly 1,000 minerals, that's where you went wrong. Holy smoke. Indeed. Did you get charge? Okay, good. And then the Zerg just was like, attacking? Nah. It's his turn to bank up a fuck ton of money. And this is why, like, when you look from this perspective, it becomes so obvious. When you're a Twitch chat grandmaster, not so much, but like, this isn't a bad game. It's just that 1 or 2 minutes where everybody just forgets to build anything. That is the difference. You can't do that. That's unacceptable. You simply cannot do that if you expect to consistently win games at a higher level. Because 4 adepts shouldn't distract you more than they distract your opponent. Otherwise, that is a net loss and a failure, thus defeating the purpose. What should have happened after that adept failure was the Zerg player who was baited into making a bunch of roaches should have counterattacked with an overwhelming amount of roaches and won the game. But because matchmaking works a lot better than most people think it does. I'm Masters 1. I think matchmaking works really well. And I'm not that high up. There are hundreds of players I can hit, but it works well. If you think you're hitting Smurfs every other game, you're wrong. If you think you're hitting hackers, you're extra wrong. You're just bad. And so are your opponents. Maybe just a little bit less bad than you most days. That's how it is. It's true. And you might be like, well, the ladder's all cheese. It's cannon rushes and DTs and what the fuck ever. Well, think about it this way. How long does it take to get cheesed? Let's say 5 minutes. How long does a macro game take? We'll say 20 minutes. If you get cheesed 4 times, and you play 1 macro game, that's the same amount of time. So, cheesing is going to feel like it happens more often because in terms of time, it does. It's easy to forget that 20-minute macro game when you get cannon rushed. And while there might be more cheese at the lower levels comparatively, which I don't think is true, it isn't nearly as dangerous as most people make it out to be. It just feels scary because of your anxiety. If you eventually build more shit than your opponent, when your shit, more shit counters less shit. Here, the Zerg player just decided to chill. The Protoss recovered, and since he was not distracted by any of his own micro, he was able to build a big army. That army is Immortals and Archons, and Charge Lots. In fact, very heavy on the Charge Lots, which is a mistake, but I think it's going to do well. You don't want to have that many Charge Lots. Oh, there's some storms in there, too. But do those Charge Lots have Sundering Impact? I mean, that was a... So, if we ever learned how to use control groups... Now, this is a crazy tactic. Okay, I know a lot of players, this is a super advanced tactic. What you could do is put a Warp Prism in the main. You don't even need to use multiple control groups, but we have to use multiple brain cells, which is definitely out of the question. You could warp in like 7 Charge Lots to the main base. And since he's probably using just as many control groups as you, let's check. Nope, unfortunately he knows how to hotkey them all to the same one. Since he's doing that, though, then maybe you could attack. I know. Especially after watching earlier. Attacking 2 places at the same time. I know. It sounds impossible. But if you put your room temperature IQ and your dozens of brain cells together, you might. I know. It sounds crazy. You might be able to actually do damage instead of attacking in the only way your army is not going to be entirely successful. So instead of attacking with a maxed out army into a maxed out army directly, on your terms, you didn't need to fight, you just decided to fight. You could make some tiny attempt to draw the army slightly out of position or entirely out of position, because let's be honest. Imagine, like, let's do a thought experiment. Tell me right now, if 8 mutas came into the main, what is the over-under on the entire ground army of the Protoss, including the Zealots and the Immortals, which there are none now, but desperately sprinting back towards the main? Well, okay. There's like a 30% chance that happens and a 70% chance the entire army A-moves towards the enemy base and prays. Because there is no in-between. Because you have no control groups. Because you think you're playing fucking League of Legends, where you can stare at the same screen the entire goddamn game and have success. It's like, I just micro my Archons better. Archons are not for micro. Archons are loose cannons, alright? They just get up in their grill and they start psionically curb stomping people. There's no micro to be had. That's the point. But the only way this army loses is if you're fighting into a concave on creep of a maxed out army. If you do anything to alleviate that, then you have a much better chance. Let's get some stalkers in there. Yes, stalkers. Good for making you feel like you built things. I mean, you built a lot of shit. And he liked what you built. Wait, why did you build Colossi instead of more? What the fuck are those? I didn't even think about that. Like, I guess we're still doing okay, but you're like, I need Colossi to counter his Roach Hydra. Why did you stop building Immortals to build Colossi? I didn't even think about that. Like, I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, oh, okay, you got a big army now, but you're like, no, no, no. Those Immortals, they weren't cutting it. I need these fragile giraffe laser boys who have less HP than Immortals. That's actually, actually, I think they have the same HP effectively, but way more vulnerable and expensive than Immortals and do less damage, essentially, to the army. I'm not saying you should have expected Neural Parasite. I'm saying you should get good. But, by the way, the answer to his army was more Storm. And, like, Disruptors if you could micro, but I do not trust that. Because the Disruptors are going to attack, move into the enemy army without actually using their abilities, because you have no control groups. The answer was more Templar, because Storm is good. But you're like, no, I need Colossi, which are not Immortals, which is wrong.
Our pylon is under attack.
It was nice infestor control. Should have never gotten there. He should have killed you after the Adepts. Like, what I think this is an advanced Silver League Protoss. I bet in the Silver League, you're like Colossi and Stalkers, or maybe even Void Rays. But you've seen enough and watched enough to understand that Colossi and Stalkers are not necessarily the way to go. But under stress, we see your true colors, which are Colossi and Stalkers, which are not very good. But sometimes, like, this is another common Metal League problem, and this is Diamond, Advanced Metal. Sometimes what you're building was not a mistake. You just didn't have enough of it, or you didn't use it well enough. The Immortals and the Templar and the Archons were good. You just used it poorly and or didn't have enough. That doesn't mean, well, we gotta try something different. No, we gotta go back and we gotta figure out how to do it right. You had the right units, and then you stopped building them because you're like, well, it didn't work. Give it a second shot, all right? Give it another try. Maybe pretend to learn something instead of going back to the drawing board and starting finger painting some bullshit. Or use control groups. That's another option, but let's not get crazy. Overall, what is this, Diamond 3? Diamond 3, right? Diamond 3. And that 2,000 minerals at the early game, that was more important than any unit composition issues. You could have made mass Blink Stalker if you would have continued spending your money, because you would have run him over and maxed out 50 supply quicker. But because you bank up 2,000 minerals, that's never going to happen. So it's a B-. Which means, yes, you'll be fine eventually, but you're still going to lose a lot of games because you keep outplaying yourself. That is the issue. I get the feeling you don't, like, you play not a small amount of games, though. That's better than my F you gave me in January. That is better than an F, yes. There's no way that's a B-. Oh, let me, okay, I'm sorry. Let me consult the review board. B-? Yeah, it's a B-. The review board has spoken. So next up, we're gonna have to pick a replay from an entire account, making me put work in, which is like, I didn't sign up for this kind of effort. Played 212 games this season. Obviously, we're going to play Protoss versus... Well, I'm going to bring this up. It is a... what is that, gold? Gold. Gold Protoss. Not a Protoss. Gold Protoss against Zerg. What is the first major fuck-up? Is it going to be... Well, first, Jimmy says it's time to run an ad. Because we haven't run an ad all stream, so... It's 2019. Like, we gotta embed ads into people's feeds directly by using their personal information. Don't you know? Anyways, be right back. One moment. Thank you for watching. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winter. I'm here to talk to you about Twitch Prime. Did you know that if you have an Amazon Prime account, or your mom has an Amazon Prime account, or your lizard has an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe with Twitch Prime for free, quote-unquote, every month? How crazy is that? And if you don't do it right now, it's essentially losing money. Also, if you're on YouTube, have you watched any YouTube videos in the past? Do you just scroll by? Do you not like it? Do you not comment? Well, so do I. But do I make a compelling enough argument for you to smash that like button and tell YouTube that people are actually engaging with this video, so they should pay me more ad revenue, essentially? Well, hopefully that is the case. And now, if this is live on Twitch, then don't tell Amazon, because Amazon doesn't own YouTube, but it does own Twitch. So we're kind of trying to double dip here. So don't tell anyone. Nobody needs to know. Just between me, you, Twitch Prime, and Google. All right? Just don't say anything. Just say something relevant to the video in the Use my Twitch Prime on my favorite stream, Loco. We all make mistakes, but here with Angry Coach, we're teaching you to fix them. So thank you. Good luck. Have fun. Keep it up. And good night. Thank you again. See you next time.
Oh, you are now in my service.
Wait, I did it wrong. This isn't Prime.
Thank you guys for sticking around. I know ads are loud and annoying, but... What is going to be the biggest issue? Early on, like our first big issue for gold, Protoss versus Zerg. What's it going to be? Thank you for watching. Be right back, one moment. Thank you for sticking around or skipping to this point. Let us break it down. So, will this become a thing? Maybe. I don't mind it. Maybe it'll get annoying, depending on if people abuse it. But instead of, he's embraced the, instead of giving an individual replay, letting me pick from an SC2 replay stats account. So, what we see here is Chosen One, who's played 212 games this season. I think that's more than me. So, impressive.
Yes.
Thank you, Artemis.
Just
This is
as
not
I
Angry Coach.
deserve.
This is Diamond League Disaster. That's what
This
they
is
all
not an
say.
angry coach. This is a Diamond League disaster that I would like to see you casted and I'm willing to. //
Slash. Okay, what was I saying? Anyways, what are we looking at here? Average time supply block, pretty well. This is 24 hours. 37 seconds supply block. That's not bad. Workers created 55 on average. That's pretty solid. And but now we see the big issue. Solid win rate PvP. Solid win rate PvT. Not so solid in PvC. So let's dive in. I'm gonna filter by Protoss versus Zerg. Very committed to Protoss, I see. And let's look at a pretty recent one. Let's see, 28 minutes. Usually 10-20 is more explanatory. This looks like a good one. Let's take a look. There we go. Let's take a look at this one. A mid-game Protoss versus Zerg without seemingly anything super early game, because I'm not here for generalized. I'm here for generalized coach. You're gonna need to figure out how to beat an early pool, or something like that. Like, there's plenty of specific options out there. But what are the big mistakes? What are the themes? What are the bad habits that you're obviously having, and are? Wait, what? Okay, alright, I thought you were just playing zoomed in, so that would be one. But, no, that was temporary. We're just gonna chill there, we're gonna stare. Okay. Okay, what's next? If you get a Forge, this is Bronze League Heroes then. If you just, nope. So what I'm gonna do, because this is gold, which is gold and below. Gold is less so, but gold and below, the vast majority, I'm just gonna keep drinking for every mistake that could have easily been solved by paying attention to a guide. Not even just my guides. Pig, or Vibe, or even, honestly, Day 9's from 2011, or whenever he stopped making SC2 content. We're just gonna do that, because my precious words will not be wasted on saying the same thing again! This one might not be clear. This one might not be clear. This is for the not even hotkeying your goddamn Nexus. How have you played 200 games this season without hotkeying your Nexus? How have you done that? Like, how did you manage that? Hotkey, I usually remember around the natural, at whatever time you hotkey it after the 1 second mark, that is however many seconds have passed in the goddamn game, -1 too late. Alright, that's how late it is. What, do you not have enough time in the first 12 seconds when you build your first probe to slap a goddamn hotkey onto the Nexus? Do you not have that? Can you not find the space? Hell yeah, it's too late, but better than never. Yeah, better than never, but not by much. It's a lot closer to never than better. Jesus, fuck! My SC2 brain cells are slow. Let's not limit it to SC2. You played 200 games, and you don't hotkey your goddamn Nexus. This might be like, you're like, why doesn't the car go? And you've been sitting there at the start of the race for like 3 hours, and the reason is because you didn't put it in drive. It's like, oh, I don't know, the car's not, it's revving the engine. I don't know what happened. It's like, or, I was about to say, like, you didn't even put the keys in it, but you put the keys in it, and then you hit the gas pedal, but you never shifted into drive, which I feel like describes a lot of your StarCraft career so far. I like how you hotkey your Nexus when you make another Nexus. It's like, oh yeah, those are pretty cool. You didn't even hotkey your scouting probe. Here's the thing. I could just continually be drinking varying... build probes! Probes and pylons! Probes and pylons! Probes and pylons! Probes and pylons! You've covered most of the pylons. Like... I rarely, like, I'm not actually a mean I'm a little bit of a mean person. I'm not actually a mean person. So, usually I avoid when there's obviously a player who's struggling and plays a lot of games and is still struggling because they can't fucking learn how to do anything and maybe have some sort of actual learning disability. Try not to make it too obvious. But here, 200 games in a season. In like a month or two. Do you have access to both hands? Like, are you using a mouse and a keyboard? Because I know Platinum... Like, I keep bringing him up, but no hands. I don't think he's in the chat right now, but... Longtime friend. He got to Platinum as Terran... and his arms don't exist. He doesn't have hands. He barely has arms. I've seen it. I've played with him. He got to Platinum as Terran with no hands. He had better control group usage than you do. He had like stumps for his arms, and he used that on the mouse and keyboard very precisely, like essentially 2-finger typing, but like cut off arms. It was impressive. But he was using mouse and keyboard. I think he still plays some, but still impressive. Still better control groups than this guy. Stop zooming in randomly. I don't... Okay, now we're building probes. I mean, there's a Robo, there's a Twilight. We're hitting the marks, but you have to, like, you don't want to be remembering your plan 4 minutes into the game. Okay. You want to have the plan and then be waiting to execute it. Not like... So you're getting charged. 5 more gates. You're like, what do I need? 3 adepts. It... Have I mentioned Archons before? Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not bad. Like, we're hitting the marks. Just very slowly. Everything is late. The build is mediocre. The build order is out of order. But it's not like we're randomly building like 4 shield batteries and 2 void rays to feel safe. It's just, we're doing the right thing. The thing is, you would just die to almost anything early on because it's taking so long to get here. But he's struggling to... Your opponent is the same way. He's having a struggle. So we're just taking a very long time to get to where we need to go. But we aren't taking any detours. So you're like the woman, so in the fast lane of the highway, going 48 miles an hour. For those Europeans out there, in freedom units, that is well below the speed limit, which no one goes on the fast lane of the highway. Driving what looks to be like a 2004 Oldsmobile that is either beige or silver, with those rims that look like they're fancy but actually are just old, and you don't want to stereotype, but it's probably an 87-year-old woman who can barely see above the wheel and probably shouldn't have a license. You don't want to stereotype, but it almost always is. So anyways, you're that person. You're going the right direction, but you're getting passed by a lot of people who are very concerned about what you're doing, but don't want to call you out on it. The other option would be, I don't know if this fits you or other people, but like, or alternatively, you're the type of person who gets up to the McDonald's fast food window and then sits there for a minute deciding what they want. You already knew what you wanted when you got into the drive-thru 17 minutes ago when you could have walked in and gotten it already. But why are you like, maybe this time I don't want that? And then you order the same thing anyways. What? You don't go to McDonald's for a variety. It's like, what? Welcome to McDonald's. What would you like? Give me... welcome to McDonald's. Oh, give me a second. Oh, no problem. Meanwhile, mute the mic. This fucking guy... I've never worked in fast food. I hope I never have to. But I'd imagine people who do that... At least I get a fucking break. I don't know. And then eventually... I'd like a number 2... But with the side of number... No, I'd like some charge lots. Anything else? Nope. 1 second. Some immortals. Okay, your total will be... No, wait. And I'll take an Archon. Just one Archon or the 4-piece? No, wait. Can I get some cannons? Sir, but the combo is either an Archon or... No, I'll take some cannons as well. Your total's gonna be not... wait. Do you have resonating glaives? Because the last one did not... No, sir. Yes. Sir, we do have... I'll take that. But that doesn't go with the charge lots and the immortals. No, I'll take the glaives. I'll take the... And then also 4-piece Archons. It's like... Okay. Pull up to the first window. Which window was that? It's like... There's only one... Okay. Alright. I'll have you know, Missy, that I've played 200 confirmed ladder games this season. And I didn't fight in the Brood War to have you criticizing my choice of resonating glaives and Archon. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see your Gold League badge. I apologize. Would you like the 5%? No, I don't want no goddamn discount. Do I get a discount for being under 100 actions per minute? No, but you do get a discount if you're under 50. It's like, I'll take that. I'll take it. Oh god, we're devolving. We're just gonna build cannons in every location. Do you even know what he has? There's an observer seeing everything. Oh, what a kill. What a player. This Stalker has seen more action than the rest of everything in the game combined. So, this is the beauty of the Gold League. And now this is why Gold League is so hard. While the game may seem very even, you never know if they have enough money for literally another 100 supply of Ultras or not. Because in Masters and Grand Masters, you know, like, if they don't have units, they don't have money. That's how it is. Because players are competent. But here, you never know. It's been 17 minutes. Nobody's done anything. He could attack, lose everything, but bam, 44 mutas. You don't know? Panic at every turn. I empathize. No way it's gold? Yeah, it could be bad, to be honest, because the players seem to have some idea of what they want. They just take 87-year-old Oldsmobile in the fast lane.
Teleport successful.
Tell me right now, was the Stargate and the Phoenix specifically to counter this Overseer that has been plaguing you for like 4 minutes? Was that the only reason? Yes. The answer is yes. Of course it is. Now, fun fact. You have now triggered his attack card. Because he will not stand for this. He will take his units and attack. and his 6,000 minerals and 1,500 gas, and his decent creep spread, which is what he's actually been working on. And he will not let his overseer will not go silently into that good night. No! No! The Zerg will not stand for such transgressions. See what you've done. So, you probably don't have the minimap DLC downloaded, where you can actually see the minimap. So you didn't notice his entire army moving out of his base, right? Like, and going to attack you. He has to avenge the Overseer. Very important. So this is my favorite part about the Meta Leagues. It's especially apparent with Zerg, but all races do it. At some point, it's like, we're done building. It's over. No more building. This is 108 supply. Done. We did it. No more units. And here, 6,900 minerals. Nice for the Zerg player. 1,890 minerals and 1,144 gas for the Protoss. But these are the units we have. The board is set. Battle must begin. Good thing Immortals and Archons are fucking incredible. Unfortunately, now you've triggered him to actually build units, so this game will get out of hand very quickly. He did only build Hydras. Oh no. Okay, guys. Twitch chat poll, we gotta do it live. He's about to morph. Okay, he's warping in 7 Templar behind the wall. So many options. What's gonna happen? Three options. He recognizes it. He moves out in front and makes Archons. Whatever. Archons are built and panic. Just total panic. For many seconds. Or 2. Or 3, rather. The wall will not survive this. What will happen? Something's about to happen. We will see. The people say the wall will not make it through this. I'd favor that. Oh, he just moved in front. What a god. Pro gamer. You guys did not have faith. So, thus begging the question of why would you build extra robos when you could queue up 4 immortals on a single robo? What begged that question? No, nothing and no one. Well, now his army consists almost entirely of Archons. So there's only a handful of things that could go wrong. Most of them consisting of requiring any form of detection. Let us demonstrate. It took a solid 25 seconds for you to recognize that lurkers were shredding everything. All you needed to do was be like, huh, I wonder what those fancy-ass spines are. This looks dangerous. Uh-oh, there's another Overseer coming. Now, if we look closely at the minimap, we will find a Nidus one. Okay. I do appreciate how you did hotkey all your units, and you're bringing them back on a right click, I might add, not an attack move. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The Archons cannot get through the wall. The Phoenix won't do jack shit. You're half a map away. But at least the idea was there. You could warp in if you had the gates. 33 charge lots right now. But, what are we doing? Dying. The recall. That was a bit. I think that recall summarized the game pretty well. I think you'll get flat eventually. I think you will. Not quickly. C+. By the end of the season, I think you will get platinum at this rate. But not very quickly. Good luck. Safety Scissors, are you around? With what a spelling of it. A platinum Terran. Moving on. We gotta move on. I feel like we said everything we could and then some. Safety Scissors is a platinum Terran. Who was here earlier. And then we got Artemis. Super Tournament is in an hour and 10 minutes, or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's after you like and subscribe and then search for the bot. I don't know where Safety Scissors went. And also, what a name. What a way to spell it. If he's not here, what are we going to do? I'm going to spoil it. His average APM is 60, which is exactly as much as your average pocket watch. So, I'm excited to see what that looks like. Because it's not necessarily low, but that means to get to platinum, I think it's incredible. Like, it's very, very plausible to get to even diamond with 60 APM. It's fine. Like, in Masters with 100, as I've done and demonstrated in that whole series. But I'm excited to see what that looks like for a true platinum player. But I don't know where he went. He's gone. Did I spend too long on that last replay? Probably. So did whoever was playing in it. So, we're going to give another minute and then we're just going to go. But if I can, we're going to spend a minute.
I'll say a little prayer, heaven don't shoot me down, 'cause I see it. Heaven don't shoot me down, 'cause I need it. Heaven don't shoot me down, 'cause I see it.
Heaven, don't shoot me down.
Set list.
Ruined! We're back. Fake out. Okay, let's go.
Strike me out, red signs like holy knights, towering.
He can watch the VOD.
Stop me now, my flight, by me back
I'm ready for a ridiculously efficient platinum Terran versus Terran.
a perfect hell. But if I can, I'll say a little prayer. Heaven, don't shoot me
If you want to wonder,
'cause I see it.
what is the max amount of gates?
Heaven, don't shoot
How many gates did Parting get against Gumiho's mech? Like, mech against Protoss, by the way? Was it Gumiho? Or was it TY? It was TY. He had like 19 gates. Like, straight up 19 gates, warping in 19 charge lots at a time. It was ridiculous. And he lost. But it was that was an amazing game on Thunderbird. Incredible game. TY breaking out the mech. Please break out the mech against Hero. I'm excited. TY is probably my favorite Terran player and has been for a couple years now. Since Pult, since Pult was no longer in WCS. But hopefully next year Pult will be again in WCS. But TY just plays so smart, so good, so handsome, but mostly smart.
Every song I download has to pass a series of rigorous tests to answer one simple question. Is it a banger? How many beats per minute? How many drops? How dope
There
will
haven't.
it drop?
Wait.
For any
What?
acoustic
What?
instrument to
Did
use?
I just see?
If so,
What just happened?
it is not a banger.
Could we just watch the game, please, Winter? I'm here for Starcraft.
Yes. Just as I deserve.
Hey Winter, I am a Platinum 2 Terran and want to get all 3 races to Diamond. I am a Diamond Zerg player, which is why I have a Diamond border.
Believe it or not. Is it a banger? Oh, there's a little bit of a pathing.
Your command center has been upgraded.
This is the normal speed of the game. It's just happening slowly because the build is happening slowly.
Your
Alright, we're gonna speed
SCVs are
run.
under assault. Add-on complete.
That's a tech lab. I don't know why.
Your workers are in peril.
There's no reason to have a tech. So, I'd like to chalk this up and put it in the cabinet of builds that die to one Reaper. But fortunately, the opponent did not make one Reaper. Or even, dare I say it, more Reapers. So, on the bright side. And of course, engineering bay, because nothing makes me feel safe like not having any units and building turrets. The only time I've seen people put tanks in this position is Bronze League Heroes replays. Like, it seems to be a staple. I've seen that like 3 or 4 times now. People just jamming tanks in the one position that it doesn't look like they should be able to go. It seems to be a trend. Another staple of low-level TVT, or just low-level Terran in general, but TVT especially, because in TVT it's most important, is just giving up on the idea of having a starport. Like, who needs a starport? Everybody knows, 1, siege tanks are not allowed to attack unless they are sieged. 2, starports overrated. Take too much micro. Thankfully, building more shit than your opponent will still get you to diamond easily. Now we get the armory. The armory for building up the Thor count, because we need to maximize the amount of units that don't require micro. I guess we're going mech. So in general, a star... Wait. And there it is. There is the classic high bronze low plat. Here closer to low plat, but actually it is plat. But when you're queuing up production facilities with nothing else happening, it's barely excusable if like we're in the late game. But there's nothing else happening, and this one singular SCV is contracted out for multiple factories. Like, do I need to point out more? I appreciate how macro-oriented our Terran players. Everything else is this is advanced Bronze League Heroes. This is when we get 4 command centers and then turtle with siege tanks instead of just 2. You could be building a second factory right there with a second SCV. Yes, you are right. That is exactly what I was implying. Thank you for spelling it out. So, question. When will we discover a starport? I predict the starport will begin only after scanning an opponent's starport unit. And it will be a scan. It won't be they attack, because this is TVT. We're not going to attack for 5 minutes. But after scanning a starport or a starport unit, that is when the starport will begin. Oh, the counter scan! Boom! Classic Bronze League Heroes tactic. Scanned. Oh shit, that exists. Counter scan. Boom! There it goes. A staple of the Meta Leagues. And now, give me the starport. Look at that Raven. You see that Raven? That's a starport unit. Look very closely. Give me a star. Where's my starport? Where's my 4 multiple Thors queued up? Okay, first, and then...
Mineral field exhausted. Perhaps it's time to
Come on.
consider
Have we lost? Do we have object permanence? I don't know. We're getting there. We're working. We got... No. No, we're just gonna queue up a bunch of Thors. Jesus, fuck. It's better than not building anything.
The enemy threatens your base.
Oh shit. Welcome to Platinum.
Your base teams with enemy forces. Defend it. A battle for the legends.
Welcome to Platinum. A battle for the legends. Great job, Zoom. What a call. The other Terran had an incredibly weak spirit, which seems built into higher level Terrans, and by that I mean above gold. He's like, well, my attack didn't work. I have no chance. Little did he know, if left unattacked or, like, his opponent was not going to attack him, I predict that Mr. Safety Scissors would not have attacked for a solid 12 more minutes, which is how long it would have taken him to max out. Okay, not 12, like 7. 7 more minutes. But being a weak-spirited Terran player, his opponent attacked, failed, and just gave the fuck up. 2,700 minerals, 1,000 gas. Who cares? 3 bases. 1 just landed. No, it's over. No chance. It's over. Over. Gotta give up right now. I've watched enough Hero Marine to know when to just give up and complain. Okay. Now's the time. Accepting any more shitty replays? We've got 2 more queued up. I think 3 will be total. Maybe 1 more on top of that. Until GSL Super Tournament. Artemis comes back again. He says it's a Diamond League disaster. Why don't you cast it? Why don't I take a look and then see? Mine is in no way meant to be for coaching. And I in no way care. This is from August, and it's on New Repugnancy, so it's last season. But thank you for the warning. What's the rating for the TVT? For a Platinum, it's like a C+. It's like you're going to fail your way into Diamond if you play enough games, to be honest. Just building a bunch of siege tanks and letting your opponent give up is a viable strategy, but it's a disaster. Alright. Wait a second. What clan is that? Let me go back. We see, so this is interesting. In the replay from the 29th of September, Aethel is not in a clan. Whereas in the replay from the 9th of August, he is. And I wouldn't be so specific unless I maybe had a vested interest. I'm awaiting an explanation. Were you in the other one and I just wasn't paying attention? I am still? Maybe. I don't know if it shows up in S2 replays tab. I might not have been paying attention. Okay. Whatever. So, now you're going to disappoint me more personally. I draw your attention to the production tab. Why are you scouting for this? Is this your normal scouting pattern? Who hurt you? This guy specifically? Your opponent? Look at the mini-map. Did you even... Are you fucking blind? What's the point? What is the point of scouting if you do not see? You saw his gateway. You see his pro... Use your eyes. You're not reacting. You saw it like 10 seconds ago and you have not reacted. Why do you bother scouting if you're fucking blind, Helen Keller? Alright? Because obviously you don't see the gate and you don't listen to criticism. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, the probe, there's a fucking probe in your base. Like, you have to put a lot of effort in to losing to this or taking damage to this. This is incredibly easy to defend. Like, you have every single, you kill the probe, you kill the whole problem. This is one of the easiest, this is a terrible cannon rush. This only works against literally blind people. If you knew how to use a mini-map and your eyes in tandem simultaneously, you're fine. Like, this is free ladder points for everyone who's ever opened their eyes. But unfortunately, I like how you even scouted for something like this. You found it. You scouted for it specifically. You found it. And still failed. Like, that's the beauty of this. It's not just that it showed up, it's like, oh fuck. No. You looked for it, and then you found it. But since you didn't use your eyes, you're gonna... I bet the time you figure it out is when you show up at his base and he has a forge. It's like, oh fuck. You saw the probe on the minimap walk into your goddamn base. It's not, they're not, when the probes come into your base, they're not sending their best. Alright? They're sending their pylons, and their cannons, and their shield batteries, and some, I assume, are passive scouting probes. But, do you want those probes in your base? I told you this was a disaster. Stop defending yourself. Because you're obviously not defending yourself. What are you looking for? It's on the screen! Ah! It's not even on the minimap anymore. It's no longer a hypothetical. Oh, God. What the fuck is that? Oh! Oh, shit! Oh, my God! Oh, what's that? Oh, no! Oh, fuck! And then you're like, no, these zealots are for show. These are. So the response is to, oh my god, is to, what are the zealots for? Why did you build the zealots? Of all the places to now that's impressive. That is impressive. I gotta give you credit. Like, could you have fucked up any harder? Like, that is an impressive amount. Like, of all the ways to wall off your stalker, that is one of the most creative ways I have ever seen. I will give you that. Well, good luck. That stalker will not die easy.
Base is
You know your shield battery can be used to reshield the pylon? But I say that, and then I realize I'm talking to someone who literally had a probe walk into their base, build multiple cannons, have those cannons in vision, and still take several seconds to realize what was happening. So, with that in mind, this is not very useful information. I like how you start getting hit by a cannon. You're like, no, no, no. Just wait it out. We'll make it. We'll make it. This is the correct pathing. Of all the places to build a cannon, you build it where it can be hit from the high ground. Beautiful. Obviously, we're gonna get +1 for those 2 co-op hero zealots. We're gonna cannon rush him back when he already has cannons. And then we're gonna go buy some ice cream from the corner store and maybe some Smokies and rum, and we're gonna cry it out. You know, as they do. Holy Smokies indeed. It's called a callback. Which is something that most of you will have no idea what it is. Jesus Christ. Let's think about how we got here. And now let's think about where we're going. Have you ever had your Twilight Council at your enemy's natural get cannon rushed? Then you haven't lived. Can you? Yeah, you can report while in game. Classic. This could still go either way. It's one base versus one base. I think. This is like the one time Archons are not a good unit. You found the only time that Archons are not like the best unit in the game. This is possibly the worst ever time for I'm going Archons. You did it. Congratulations. Possibly the worst time for Archons you could have ever picked. And you had a choice, too. Like, it's not like, oh, I guess I had the Templar Archives from... No! You're like, I'm going 2-gate +2 Archon. On one base. While my opponent has more cannons than the fucking 1812 Overture. That's the play. Did you just wall in your goddamn base? Jesus Christ. You have a problem. Alright. Stop it! Stop doing that! Why are there 3 stalkers here? What are they doing? Get that arc. Okay, the Archon didn't do great. And now he's dying to your cannons. Oh my god, it's a wall. I'm impressed by how many things you did that led to your complete and utter failure. Like, this was a complete... This was a comprehensive failure. This was a multi-step process. This wasn't like, I didn't see something or I didn't do something. Like, this took effort. You put a whole lot of effort in to fucking up this game this hard. It's a perfect storm of total disaster. I'm impressed by how terrible it was. Like, this is like the Albert Einstein of Diamond League disasters. Is he still on 1 base? Are you gonna win? What a blink. What a blink. Do you not have charge? You got +2 in blink. He's gonna win. Despite your best efforts, you won the game. Congratulations. I'll admit, you're correct. I did like watching it from your perspective, though. I liked watching how much time you had to not fail. Essentially this game. Let me skip back a little. Like,
wow, I still can't believe this sale. 6,000 low-fold dispenser napkins for $58? What are they thinking?
I don't know.
Yeah, and they're 2-ply. This is a great day. A really great day. Wow, look how big and empty the parking lot is, huh? What do you say you get behind the wheel?
What would I do behind the wheel?
Drive.
Is that legal?
Well, no, but my father let me drive when I was about your age. Call it a perk for running errands with your dad.
Let's make this kitty purr.
Well, go ahead, try a turn. Tina, why are you groaning? You're doing fine. Tina, relax. Easy. Easy. Okay. Tina, you're kind of headed toward the only other car in the lot. You have plenty of time to turn, Tina, so just go ahead. Turn one way or the other. You're just swerving back and forth. Turn one way and stick with it, Tina. Tina, for the love of God! Turn away or stop! The brakes, Tina, on the left! You're about to hit that car! The brakes! Hit the brakes! Oh my God, it's bad.
I ruined the car.
You did. You really did. Okay. Well, that's... At least there doesn't seem to be any damage to the other car.
No, I see a dent. There's a dent.
That's a ding, not even. It's like a little scratch.
No, it's a dent.
All right, we'll leave a note. You know, then again, for all we know, that probably was there, right?
We have to leave a note. We have to leave a note.
Okay. You're so honest. Who raised you?
I don't know.
It was me. I did.
A little more off the top.
at least he sent it in, right? Who raised you? It was me. It was me. Can I get a winter really in the chat? There's no grade for that one. There can't be. Alright, the last one for this marathon. Plat 2 Terran. I want to get all 3 races to Diamond. I'm a Diamond Zerg player, which is why I have a Diamond board. So, Platinum Terran. Thank you, Colleen.
Still enjoying after half
Sprayle
a year.
shot. For 8 months.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Alright.
SCV ready. SCV
Disco Bloodbath. He expanded. We're going back. Looking good. Reactor. Second depot. Looking good, looking good. Second gas. Wow, this is looking like a build so far. Is it time? Activate the tunnel vision.
Add-on operational.
Photographer. Nailed it. Perfect. Thank you.
Service.
Bob Boberson the fourth. With a sum. For a long line of Bobs before him.
Add-on constructed.
Stim. That's a little greedy, but the fact that it's actually coming together. Like, this is like a TVZ build, but it's platinum. Whatever. Fuck. Like, by the time Stim is done, all 5 Marines are going to be decked out.
armed and ready. SCV ready. Ready to raise some hell.
This is where it's going to start to fall apart a little bit, isn't it? Alright, more production. I like it. Because the Protoss is struggling. Uh-oh. Where are you going to go? It's looking good. Second engine bay. The Liberator's going home for some reason. And now it's turning around. Liberator's starting to get real disgruntled. Liberator turning around. We made NG bays, but we kind of forgot about them. So that was unfortunate.
Ready for dust off.
There you go. So, this has the makings of a real strat. Mostly because we're in Platinum and the Protoss is barely keeping his shit together. Liberator near the main. Hellions for the net. And a drop for the third. So this could all go horribly wrong very quickly. But, the idea is really good. Obviously, the bio production was a little disjointed, but Fort Barracks for. This is a diamond level build. You know what? Besides dying to a wide variety of any early attack, this is definitely solid diamond. This is, the thing is, with this many moving parts, if something goes wrong, it can all fall apart very quickly. It's a risky business. See how it goes.
SCV ready. We could use some help here.
And this is the difference. It's all great. You can get a lot of kills. But if you just stop building units for a solid... Everybody, deep breaths. Deep breaths. As this starts, we're going to hold our breath until he builds another unit. Wait.
SCV ready.
And...
Go, go, go. We could use some help here.
Mineral field depleted.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great.
Mineral cluster expended.
Now the problem is, when you lose all those units, you lose all those units as well. But honestly, that was a net win. I'm surprised I'm saying it, but especially since the two medevacs got out of there, that triple prong attack was a net win.
SCV ready.
2 more starports and a fusion core. So here's the problem. Is sometimes if you try to get fancy, you just don't have any fucking units. He has no probes, but he has units. If you had built units during that 30 seconds, if you built the 2 rounds of units you could have built while you weren't building units, you're fine. You had to have been like, well, I couldn't have built units. I was supply blocked. Technically true, though.
Ready for dust off.
Mineral field exhausted.
And this is how Terrans feel, and this is why many Diamond League Terrans feel like they're Big Gabe. Big Gabe has legitimate complaints. I guess I don't know if complaints is the right word, but criticism.
250
You do not.
down the draw.
And I'm not saying
I mean,
you
well spent.
specifically. Thank you, IXDopeXI. Stop doing math. Math is overrated. It's gonna feel like you did a great triple prong, but you dropped the ball for like 30 seconds, and that has now led to this scenario where he walked across the map with the units he had because you didn't kill any units with the attack. The attack did not kill any units, but you lost units, meaning that your army supply was significantly smaller. And if you don't build units, your army supply will be continually smaller because you're not building fucking units.
New technology.
That can snowball. But bio units are pretty good. Is this game almost over? How is it not? How is this game not almost over?
You are now in my service.
Did you forget +2 attack?
Dust off.
Overall, it's great.
Add on.
It's Diamond Terran. You're already Diamond Terran. There's pretty much nothing you can do at this point to avoid that. At least in TVP.
Ready for dust off. Somebody get me out of this mess. Reporting.
Add on additional SCV under attack.
I mean, you can repeatedly run into choke points and splash damage. But you'll keep doing that. Every Terran player does that. Alright, they're like, oh, this matchup is so hard! When you ran into 15 laser beams.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field exhausted.
That's a lot of
Field depleted.
liberation is at hand. How many is that? That's 11 liberators.
SCV ready.
Must build more supply depots.
Wow, look at that chipping play.
Go time. Mineral field exhausted. Vespi. Geyser depleted.
Godfredo. You tried building liberators?
You are now in my service.
Ready for liberation in the past.
Survey says yes. Though he was super dead if you hadn't lost all your units and you had built units. But very right. He was very dead a long time ago.
Possible supply limit reached. Mineral field depleted.
That's not very true. Not that many liberators.
Mineral field depleted.
You'll get to diamond. It's an A minus. The minus is the kind of disjoint, like you gotta build unit. But it would still be an A minus in like diamond 3 and 2. So this is the beauty of playing another race, is you don't have the bad habits of like feeling pressured to build a bunch of units when you don't need to. What is a TVP build? Build a bunker at the front and build a cyclone instead of a bunch of Hellions into tanks. Into doing a tank push with stim instead of not having... Like, you don't need 5 Marines with stim. Unless you've got, like, I don't know, whatever that mission is in the end of Wings of Liberty where you have, like, the 4 guys going in, like Swan and Jimmy and Tychus, and they do the, like, Heroes of the Storm mission. But yeah. What a way to quote unquote end it. Finally, something mildly decent. Mildly. But I hope this Tipsy Angry Coach Marathon tickled your particularly fancy. Nailed it. I hope you enjoyed. For those of you on YouTube, assuming this makes it there one way or another, like and subscribe. But let's be honest, if you made it this far, come on. If you didn't, then you didn't see this anyways. So, much like my favorite store, who doesn't sponsor me because they don't sponsor anyone because they're amazing, Costco, we do it in bulk. For better or for worse. Thank you. See you next time. Yeah, that was... Most of it got into my mouth. So that was good. Words to live by.